There is some breaking news from the White House. President Trump has spoken with Chinese President Xi Jinping about the ongoing trade war. Now, it comes as negotiations have stalled, with even Trump writing on Truth Social yesterday that the Chinese leader is, quote, extremely hard to make a deal with, end quote. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is tracking the very latest from the White House for us. So, Natalie, what do we know about those conversations that the president had with Xi Jinping?
Yeah, well, the Chinese embassy just confirmed that this phone call took place, posting on social media that the two leaders spoke by phone, saying that it was at President Trump's request, according to Beijing. We are still waiting for details, the readout of this call from the White House. So far, they've not given too many details, but we know, of course, Vlad, that it comes amid these escalating trade tensions, with both countries accusing the other of violating that preliminary trade agreement reached in May in Switzerland. And we know that of particular concern to the Trump administration was the fact that the administration said Beijing was slow walking their pledge to lift restrictions on exports of critical minerals. So we'll have to wait and see what other details were discussed. Yesterday when we were talking, we were still trying to figure out when and if this call would take place. But of course, now it has been confirmed that the two leaders spoke. And we'll have to wait and see whether it leads to another round of trade talks between, say, the Treasury Secretary and his Chinese counterpart.
So the president also announced that he's issuing this travel ban, Natalie, and he's restricting people from more than a dozen countries from entering the United States. What do we know about that?
Yeah, President Trump citing national security concerns and also saying that the countries that were targeted in this latest travel ban have issues with vetting. And we know that that was an analysis conducted by the Secretary of State. In their proclamation, they also note a lack of cooperation on deportations among some of the countries. Now, the president also said that this proclamation, this new ban, comes following that attack in Boulder, Colorado. I want to note that the suspect in that case is from Egypt, which Egypt is not one of the countries on this latest ban. And a lot of people are talking about it's reminiscent of the travel bans from the first Trump administration, which, as you probably remember, Vlad, were subject to a lot of litigation. There were not only legal challenges, but they sparked mass protests nationwide, a lot of confusion at the airports. I spoke to an attorney from the International Refugee Assistance Project. They will be one of the groups, they say, that will be monitoring next steps, how this is implemented, and trying to weigh, the impact. Here's what they are worried about.
The most immediate concern is that thousands of people separated from their families, people who are displaced, people who are seeking refuge, people who are persecuted, and just everyday people hoping to travel to the United States. Thousands and thousands of people will be banned from the United States for no good reason, not based on anything that they've done or would do, but just simply who they are and where they're from.
Now, during the first Trump administration, officials had to revise the travel ban a couple different times, and the eventual version did end up going all the way to the Supreme Court. Conservative justices, Vlad, upheld that ban, noting that the president does have a lot of authority when it comes to who enters the country from abroad, citing national security concerns.
All right, Natalie Brand, thank you very much.